closer look at the education system of selected countries of the world. The education system in Australia. The educational system in Australia is similar with that of England and Canada, a country that has a high quality of education system. The primary school for 6 years, junior high school for 4 years, senior high school for 2 years, and college for 3 years to 6 years. During the junior high school studies, most Australian students decide what to do after high school. Students who intend to go to college or university entrance examination. Other students may get a job after year 10 or go to a technical and further education college to learn technical skills. The entry age of compulsory education is 6 years old and exit at 15 years old. Primary education is provided by government and non-government schools. The length of the program is 6 years for 6 years old to 12 years old children. However, in most states, children start primary school at the age of 5 when they enroll in preparatory or kindergarten year. After the primary school, the junior secondary level, which is for 4 years, come next. The age level of children in this level is from 12 to 16 years old. At the end of the junior secondary level, a junior secondary certificate of education, year 10 certificate is awarded. A senior secondary level is provided for 2 years after the junior secondary level. Students are from 16 to 18 years old in this level. Senior secondary level is no longer compulsory education. It is being offered by government and non-government providers. A senior secondary certificate of education, year 12 certificate is awarded at the end of the senior secondary level. From the primary to the secondary levels, most students are enrolled in government schools which operate under the direct responsibility of the state's or territory education minister. The federal government provides supplementary financial support. Undergraduate studies last between 3. Arts, Science, Commerce for 4 years, Education in Engineering for 5 years, Veterinary Science, Dentistry, Architecture for 6 years. A graduate with a bachelor's degree can proceed to a 1 year to 2 year postgraduate course leading to a postgraduate diploma. A student who has qualified for a bachelor's degree may proceed to a master's degree. This degree may be obtained after 1 year, a past degree, or 2 years, a honors degree of full-time study. A student who has qualified for a bachelor's degree may proceed to study for doctorate, usually PhD, higher doctorate in science or humanities upon submission of published work are awarded the degrees. The education system in China. The most populous country of the world is China, with over 200 million students attending public schools taught by over 9 million teachers in the elementary, junior, and senior high schools. It is the largest educational system of the world. The subject matter and instructional contents are uniform for all. The first 6 years of school make up the primary grades, which is devoted to development of cognitive skills, and this is followed by another 6 years of high schools. Class size range from 40 to 60 students. The students have to cover all topics in order to pass national examinations. Students wishing to attend university must pass one of the two versions of national university entrance examination. The quality and reputation of the school will depend on the number of students passing the examination. The new educational system include 6 years of primary education, 3 years of junior middle school, 3 years of senior middle school, 6 years of university, and varieties of technical and vocational schools. The education system in Japan. The Japanese education system is highly centralized and is administered by Mambusho or Ministry of Education. The school system from kindergarten through university serves about million students, with about 10% going to the university, about one-third go to the private schools, and the rest are enrolled in the public of national schools system. In Japan, education is free and compulsory for children 6 to 15 years. Classes are large and teaching method is usually lecture. Japanese students spend 243 days in a year in school, and the class size average is 33, and the periods are 50 minutes long. To get into the universities, there are more than 500 students must take the two exams. The first one is the National Achievement Test, and the second one is given by the university itself. The competition is quite fierce, and some students who fail the test will take another year to study and prepare to take the test again. The Japanese educational system is divided into five basic levels: the kindergarten, elementary school for 6 years, lower secondary school for 3 years, and cover grades 7, 8, and 9. The upper secondary school for 3 years. The upper secondary offer academic, technical, and vocational programs. The upper secondary schools are ranked based on their success in pleasing graduating students into prestigious universities, and the university is usually around 4 years. The education system in South Africa. Formal education in South Africa is categorized into sectors or levels. These sectors are closely linked to a particular levels, namely a public ordinary school education, an independent school education, a special school education, a technical college education, and a teacher training and university training. A public school may be an ordinary public school or a public school for learners with special educational needs. The levels are pre-primary, primary, secondary, and higher education. The eight learning areas that form the basis of all basic education up to the further education training or FET certificate are language, literacy and communication, mathematical literacy, mathematics and mathematical science, natural science, technology, human and social science, economics and management science, arts and culture, and life orientation. One school year consists of 41 weeks, 196 school days, which is divided into four terms. Other relevant sectors of the educational structure include special education, private education or independent schools, adult and non-formal education, and HIV or AIDS education. The education system in United Kingdom. Education is compulsory for children ages 5 to 16. Most children attend primary schools until they are 11 and then transfer to secondary schools. In the primary school, the subjects are taught by the same teacher for a year before moving on the next teacher and the next grade level on the next year. The national curriculum core subjects include English, mathematics, and science. Each K level has definite emphasis that gradually becomes more advanced as the level progresses. The K levels are foundation stage, the K stage 1, the K stage 2, the K stage 3, the K stage 4, and the post 16 education. The foundation stage, this is included in the national curriculum, which covers children aged 3 to 5 years but does not have a strong mandate as to what needs to happen during these years of schooling, as it is not yet mandatory. The K Stage 1. It includes children aged 5 to 7 years and year groups grade 1 to 2. It mandates core subjects including English, mathematics, and science, and non-core foundation subjects as design, technology, history, arts and design, music, and physical education. The K Stage 2. It includes children aged 7 to 11 and year groups 3 to 6. It mandates the same core and non-core foundation subjects with more emphasis on more difficult topics and the addition of 6 education to additional statutory areas, which is left up to the policy of school governors or school board. The K Stage 3. It includes children aged 11 to 14 years and year groups 7 to 9. It mandates the same basics in K Stage 1 and 2 but adds foreign language and information communication technology to the mix while adding appropriate difficulty to the core subjects. The K Stage 4. It includes those aged 14 to 16 and year groups 10 to 11. It covers the statutory program that must be taught to all students. Most schools include in their core curriculum courses that lead to qualifications in each of the five subjects areas, which are English, math, science, information and communication technology or ICT, and physical education. Post 16 education. It is not mandatory in England. Students can either continue education or enter working world. Some secondary school go beyond the 11 to 16 mandates to 11 to 18 and the students may stay there. If the high school does not offer these six form extra years, the student may go to the further education college or FEC. Students studying at the university for their first degree are called undergraduates. Once a student has graduated, he or she becomes a graduate of the university. Ordinary degree programs in the UK universities are usually 3-year courses. Undergraduates completing these programs successfully are awarded either a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science degrees. The education system in United States of America. The pre-primary education. Types of school providing this education are kindergartens, nursery schools, the preschool programs, and child daycare centers. Age level is 4 to 6 years old and the duration is 2 years. The primary education. Elementary school. There is varied levels of schooling and the primary education. The transition to middle school. Grades 1 to 4 children are from ages 6 to 10. Grades 1 to 5 children are from ages 6 to 11. The transition to junior high school. Grades 1 to 6 children are from ages 6 to 12. Grades 1 to 7 children ages 6 to 14. Vocational and technical schools operate at either the high school or junior college levels. They teach skills such as secretarial, auto mechanics, photography, and nursing. College and university education. A college usually has a bachelor's 4-year program. A university may be composed of several colleges. For most purposes, a bachelor's degree from a college is equivalent to a bachelor's degree from the university, so that the two words college and university mean the same thing to the most Americans. Classes begin in September and end in June of every year. Post-secondary education. There is no real age categories for post-secondary education. American students start college after completing high school. About 60% of all students who graduate from high school enter college at some point in their life. Junior and technical colleges are designed to be 4-year programs at the undergraduate level. In reality, the average American takes over 6 years to finish a 4-year degree. The reason is that more than 50% of college freshmen do not know what major or specialization they wish to study. Also, many students work to pay for college expenses. Thus, they may take fewer classes in order to work. The education system in New Zealand. New Zealand education system is a world-class, modern, and responsive. It combines proven, traditional principles of education with innovation, creativity, and fresh thinking to produce learners and citizens equipped for the 21st century. School is compulsory for all children in New Zealand from age 6 to 16. Children are eligible for free education if they are New Zealand citizens or residents, or if they are qualified as domestic students. The average number of students to a teacher in every classroom is 18 to 1 in primary schooling and 15 to 1 in secondary schooling in state schools. The core subjects in New Zealand are English, health and physical education, language, mathematics and statistics, science, social science, technology, and arts. There are 5 competences covered by the national curriculum: the thinking, using language, symbols, text, different ways to communicate, and understand information. The national curriculum includes a vision for the young people to be confident. It also requires the importance of different cultures to value, the excellence, innovation, diversity, respect, equity, community, ecological, and integrity. The basic education in New Zealand schooling level years or grades. Age early childhood preschool birth 5 years, primary school years 1 to 8 and 5 to 13. Intermediate school years 7 to 8 and 11 to 13. Secondary school years 7 to 13, 11 to 17 or 18. Tertiary university or similar 17 onwards. New Zealand law requires all children aged 6 years and over to be in schools. Most begin as they turn 5 years old. For the first 3 years in primary education, one grade level each year, children are moved to another 5 more years before going to secondary school. The secondary schools, students progress through 5 levels and must stay until age 17 to 18. In the first 2 years of secondary, grade 9 and grade 10, all students learn English, mathematics, science and technology, social studies, arts, physical education, and health education. Optional subjects in the first 2 years of secondary school may include economics, history, geography, electronics, keyboard skills, drama, and journalism. The school term. The New Zealand school year is divided into 4 terms for primary, intermediate, and secondary schools and tertiary university. Students have 6-week summer holiday break and 3 to 2-week breaks between each of the 4 terms. The exact dates change from year to year. School days usually begins at 9 a.m. and ends at 3 p.m. or 3:30 p.m. The education system in the Philippines. The K-12 basic education in the Philippines consists of kindergarten, 6 years of elementary, 4 years of junior high school, and 2 years of senior high school. Kindergarten became mandatory in school year 2012-2013. The teaching in kindergarten is built around 6 domains. From grade 1 to 10 is a core of academic subjects taught using the spiral progression approach. The subjects from grade 1 to 10 are the languages, mother tongue, Filipino, English, math, science, social studies, TLE, and MAPI. Mother tongue is used as a medium of instruction from kindergarten to grade 3 and taught as a subject only in grades 1, 2, and 3. Science as a subject is taught only beginning in grade 3. TLE is taught starting grade 4 until grade 10. In grades 11 to 12, the subjects are languages, Filipino and English, math, science, social studies combined with TLE career pathways. The focus in grade 11 and 12 is on the specialization subjects that equip the learners for the career path of his or her choice. These career paths come in 3 tracks: academic, tech voc, sport, and arts. Those who wish to continue the TLE specialization they had in grade 9 and grade 10 may choose the tech voc track. Elementary education is concerned with the learner's mastery of basic skills and competences. The secondary education is geared towards the consolidation of these knowledge and skills mastered at the elementary level and is focused on equipping the learners with employable gainful skills or preparing him or her for middle level skills development or higher education. The higher education in the Philippines, the students who graduate in high school consisting of 4 years may proceed to colleges, universities, or technical vocational institution, which are classified as higher education institution. The higher education institutions are supervised by the government agency called the Commission on Higher Education or CHED. In Singapore, compulsory education includes 6 years of primary school, 4 years of secondary school, and 1 to 3 years of post-secondary school. Preschool is called kindergarten, is voluntary and offered both by the Ministry of Education and by private providers. The instructional system is centrally controlled with a well-developed curriculum and syllabus for each course aligned to an end of course exam. At the end of the 4th year of primary school, students take school-based tests that determine what level or band students will study for English, mathematics, mother tongue, and science during the next 2 years. At the end of the 6 years of primary school, when students are about 12 years old, students take the primary school leaving examination or PSLE in English, mathematics, mother tongue, and science. Based on these results, students are admitted to one of 4 pathways in secondary school.